Many of you probably know GoHack, and yes, we are going to talk about BOT specifically. So this guy is doing some crazy shit, and he suggested a strategy with Liberation, with Thunderstorm and DKD, which is a nice one, and pretty much heavy wield, I should say. I don't have these runes legendary, so it was a real struggle for me. And you may also know Lich Stream. This is a crazy guy, another one who is doing a lot of BOT, and he was able to complete Esil in, let's say, semi-wield condition with A5 DKD and heroic runes, which is completely crazy. You should spend like hours straight in a row finding just the best possible outcome. This is not for me. I decided to work with the Fire setup. This is Rudy Kalix Video Games channel. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and let's begin with my strategy. First of all, I should say that for Esil we have two recommended elements, and they are fire and wind. So in case of GoHack, Lich Stream, they provided more or less the wind strategy. I'm going to talk about the fire strategy, and let's get into my builds. So specifically here I was using the fan and the phoenix bow. For support units I was using Silver Mane, Ayla and Gina. No breakers, because we have fan, which is going to deal a lot of break damage. And for shadows I was using Barry the Shadow Authority, Igris and Serbia. For the gear sets I was using for SJW 4 pieces toughness, 4 pieces outstanding ability. Silver Mane, just because he is a support in this case, I've provided him 4 pieces noble sacrifice and 4 pieces how it calls outstanding connection. For Ayla, 4 pieces Guardian and 4 pieces Sylph, and Gina just 8 pieces Burning Blessing. For the skills which I was using, and that's pretty much obvious, the first one is a, let's say, damage one, Sonic Explosion, Sonic Stream. The second one, which I was using, is to actually deal some almighty break, and in this case it's Explosion. The latest one, break skill. For the QTEs I was using for the death one, Squall, to increase the effectiveness of my break skills, and the second one is a surprise attack with Collapse, just to again deal some more break damage and also have a damage increase, which is really important. After the phase I'm going to break Esil. For the blessing stones which I was using, here are they, pretty much straightforward. Reawakening to reduce the cooldown, because my main damage is going to be not from QTE runes like in the strategy from GoHack and Lich Stream. It's going to be from weapons, so I need to reduce my cooldowns as much as possible. The second one is going to be Intuit, just because again I'm spending some points in intelligence, I need to get some extra attack, and this is really important here. I'm using also Pulverize just because the main damage which I'm going to provide is going to be during the break phase. And the last one, to boost my critical hit rate, which is also really important here, I was using Sharp Perception. And as I already mentioned, the Intuit Blessing Stone, the points are allocated in this specific way, 210 into intelligence and all the rest into the strength. Another important moment to mention, for SJW, which course I was using. The first one, for attack, I was using to boost my critical hit damage of core attack, again because the main damage is going to be from Phoenix Bow, and it deals the most amount of damage from core attacks. The second one, for HP, I was using as well the latest new core, which is going to decrease MP consumption. Also important to keep in mind. For the setup of support units, why it's so? So here for Silver Mane, the main reason is because he is going to increase our attack by 20%. For the weapon, his weapon is not really that important. As you can see, it's just a 0 without any levels or something like that. For Ayla, she provides a lot of different buffs, which are going to increase our damage by 12%, gain shields by 12%, and the critical hit rate is going to be increased also by 12%, and that's pretty much huge. For Gina mainly I was using her due to her halt effect, which is going to be really helpful because Esil is going to recover after the break really fast, and I won't have enough time to actually finish all my rotations. And yes, a small addition, you should understand, of course, this strategy is not for everyone, it requires highly developed weapons. For real, there is no questions about it, and I'm even not sure if heroic versions of runes is going to be enough to complete it. I'm not sure, quite honestly. But this is an interesting one, and I hope this for some of you this might be helpful. On the other half, maybe you'll find this just interesting. Now let's go straight to the fight, and I'm going to explain everything step by step. Starting from the very beginning, and here the first thing which you want to do is to actually summon your silver main. I'm using one dash, and in the direction I show with my arrow of this mob, I'm going to use my fan. This is pretty much it. I'm summoning at the same time Ayla and going into dash again, even I believe 2 dashes. Yeah, 2 dashes. This is more than enough, fan should destroy all of the enemies. I'm teleporting to the second phase. Basically here I'm going to summon immediately Gina. And here I'm using the break skill, the single one time, I'm not holding the button, so I'm just pushing it, that's it, and immediately I'm using straightforward the Phoenix Bow. This is going to finish all mobs. I'm using all my dashes on the left side just to avoid attack from this, let's say, mini boss of the second phase, because he is going to drain my mana and I don't want to get this. Here I'm using the Sonic Stream, and after that I'm finishing him with core attacks. If you're lucky enough, you even may finish him with just a single hit from the core attack. Or if you have high levels of weapons, I mean 120, you should finish him, one-shot him just straightforward without any questions. And here we're going to the final boss. So, at the very beginning, what I've done during the previous phase, I used my basic attacks 2 times to almost charge my core attack, which is really important. As you can see, here it's left only one single hit to actually charge the core attack, which I need for the fan. She's jumping, and at the same moment I'm charging the core attack and using my fan. Here an important moment to wait for like a little bit, for a second. This is going to provide the most amount of break damage from the fan, and I'm using my first QTE, which is a death one, to increase the effectiveness of my break attack. And right after that I'm using the collapse skill again to deal some weak break damage. Right after that I'm summoning my shadows, and immediately I'm using my break skill. Here is an important moment which you should keep in mind. During the second phase, why I have used this break skill? It's an important moment, because this is going to allow me to get one additional stack for the fan to activate the Fire Demon. As you can see right now, it's activated, so yeah, using this skill it gives one additional stack. Fully charged fan giving 2 stacks, this one skill gives additional 1 stack, so in total we should have 6 stacks to get the effect from the Fire Demon. Here I'm using Silver Main again. I'm finishing the break phase for Esil using the Shadow Step, Ayla, Phoenix Bow, Sonic Stream, using Gina, and finishing with core attacks. If you're lucky in terms of critical hits and critical hit damage, you should be able to finish her with just 2 final hits. Yes, a moment of randomness, but I found this build a little bit more consistent for me specifically. Yeah, maybe because everything is pretty much maxed out at some point, I guess. That's why I mentioned I'm not sure how for free-to-play players this is going to work. So yeah, again, I should mention that this strategy is not for everyone, but for some of you who can afford such build, who have fan at high advancement, Phoenix Bow, skills, I hope you will find this helpful. The other half just find it interesting, and yeah, it's time to show you a full run. Just enjoy the fire show. Again, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat from the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million motherfuckers that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family. From a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Whole life never when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to